Throughout history, the club founded in 1947 by the Romanian Ministry of Defense changed its name various times, but its identity remained the same. Although, in the past decade, that identity has been put to the test by a court conflict between the club named CSA Steaua București and the current owner of FCSB. In 1998, the football department and its facilities were separated from the CSA club and taken over by a group of shareholders in a post-Ceausescu privatization scheme, leading to one of the shareholders acquiring full ownership 5 years later. In 2003, a businessman named George Becali managed to gain control over the club by turning it from non-profit to a public share company. Since he took over the club, he made it his mission to use the club as a platform to promote his beliefs and his ventures, which, it must be said, was a win-win situation so far for both parties. The club has won the Romanian League 27 times, the Romanian Cup 24 times, the League Cup twice, and the Romanian Super Cup 7 times. But you might know the name for a different performance on the international stage. Since George Becali took over, he was considered a controversial figure by part of the club's supporters, but on the pitch, that didn't matter. The team qualified for the UEFA Cup group stage in the 2004-2005 season and became the first Romanian team to make it to the European football knockouts since 1993, also Steaua's performance. The following season, Steaua reached the UEFA Cup semi-finals in 2005-2006, where it was eliminated by Middlesbrough thanks to a last-minute goal and this goalkeeper. Steaua thereafter qualified for the following Champions League seasons after a 10-year break, and in 2007-2008 they again reached the group stage of the Champions League. And domestically, the club won 2 titles in 2004-2005 and 2005-2006, the latter being the club's 50th trophy in its 59-year history. In 2013, Steaua won its 24th national title, also subsequently reached the 2013-2014 Champions League group stage. It repeated a former performance in each of the next 2 years, being awarded the championship in 2014 and 2015. After the Ministry of National Defense sued the club, claiming that the Romanian Army were the rightful owners of the Steaua logo, colors, honors, and name, the Executive Committee of the Romanian Football Federation approved an application to change the name of the club from FC Steaua București to FC FCSB on the 30th of March 2017. CSA Steaua București had previously announced they would refound their football department as CSA Steaua București in the summer of the same year. However, the FCSB owner, George Becali, announced that his team would retain the original honors and the UEFA coefficient, and was also hopeful of recovering the name in the future. It's safe to say that it hasn't happened yet. In July 2019, yet another unfavorable ruling was handed out against the team. According to it, CSA Steaua would be the rightful entity to assert the honors up until 2003, however, the decision was not definitive. In the 2023-2024 season, FCSB won the Romanian League title. In the same season, the club appointed Elias Charalambous as manager. In Romania, there are rumors that the person calling the shots at FCSB in terms of formation, players used, and substitutions is the owner, George Becali, not the manager, Elias Charalambous. Who knows what the truth is? Elias Charalambous is the Cypriot football manager and former player who is currently the manager of FCSB. He played football and earned 363 senior appearances and scored 20 goals for various clubs like Omonia, PAOK, AEK Larnaca, among others. He also represented Cyprus at senior level 69 times. He started his managerial career as an assistant coach in 2017 at the club where he last played, AEK Larnaca. In the 2019-2020 season, he was caretaker manager at the club before moving to Hata Club in UAE as an assistant coach. In the same year, 2020, he took over Ethnikos Ahna FC, a Cypriot professional football club. And before he came to FCSB, he took over another Cypriot football club named Doxa Katokopias FC. As tactics, at least when managing FCSB, he seems to prefer a 4-2-3-1 formation in most games played by the team, with emphasis on caution on the ball and counter-attack football. In the game, I went with the 4-2-3-1 formation as well. 4-3-3 was also preferred in some games in real life. A sweeper keeper on defense duty as the goalkeeper. It might not seem like it, but the team relies on the goalkeeper to become a passing option when the opposition's pressing game becomes too much. The back four are 2 wingbacks on support duty and 2 central defenders on defense duty. I found it tricky to choose the roles of the wingbacks as fullbacks also fit. I settled on the wingback roles, as both players seem to go up the pitch when the team is in possession, overloading the flanks when possible. The defensive, maybe central midfielders, are a defensive midfielder on defend duty and a segundo volante on support. Here, both could be assigned different roles, but, for example, I did not go with a halfback or an anchor here, as Vlad Chiricheș, when he plays, is a possession-oriented player, trying to start attacks from his position. The same happens when Mihail Sandu or Baba Al-Hassan play. For the segundo volante though, you could go a bit higher up the pitch and even select a central midfielder on support duty. It depends on the type of player you use here. I think Adrian Șut fits better a segundo volante role when he plays. However, when Darius Alaru plays, he seems to be more of a central midfielder than a defensive one. As said, there are many options to choose from for this area on the pitch. On the wings, I went with a winger on attack on the right side and an inverted winger on attack on the left side. However, if the right flank seems easier to choose a role for the left flank, and especially for Yuri Chisoti, I could have easily choose a rounded role. This player is unlike any other player I have seen in recent times. His work rate is incredible and his teamwork is amazing. As player instructions, I chose cut inside with the ball for the right winger. For the remaining two positions in the formation, I chose an advanced playmaker on support duty and a poacher. Although, here as well, you guessed it, different roles can be used. Florin Tănase can be an attacking midfielder as well, however, I think he plays more like a playmaker, trying to create goal-scoring chances for his teammates. To try to get closer to the way he plays, I added the player instruction of dribble more for this role. And Daniel Berlija or any other striker player in this position can be a complete forward, an advanced forward, or even a deep line forward if your wingers are fit to be inside forwards. I chose the poacher role as, even though there are times when Daniel Berlija comes deep to take the ball, he most often seems to have a good feeling of where to position himself in the box to score goals. As mentality, I used positive. In possession, fairly wide attacking width and play out of defense. Standard or slightly shorter passing directness as it's translated with a positive mentality, and slightly higher tempo. Walk the ball into the box and play for set pieces. This time, the play for set pieces option is important, as FCSB have scored many goals this season from free kicks and corners. In transition, counter press, counter, and distribute the ball to the defense. And out of possession, a mid block and a standard defensive line. There are times when the team seems to use a low block, but I wouldn't do that in this year's edition of the game, as it just invites the opposition to score against your team. Trigger press more often and step up more, but you can tick off the step up more if you'd like to. I only simulated one season using this formation with FCSB, but the results were on par, I would say. The team won the league title in Romania and they were knocked out of the Romanian Cup by CFR Cluj. In Europe, the team hasn't qualified to any European League phase, being knocked out, eventually, from the Europa Conference League 4th qualifying round by, and I'm not kidding, PAOK. The Greek club took revenge in my football manager save. At least it wasn't in real life, where FCSB was drawn against Olympique Lyon in the Europa League round of 16 and has high hopes of going through to the next round. Whether that happens, it remains to be seen. As the fan of the club, I'm just enjoying the ride.